got some Detroit Lions rumors for you folks today. In this video, we're going to talk about the media continues to love our Detroit Lions. What does that mean for the big picture? Does that mean a narrative is changing? We're going to get into that, as well as 5 players on the roster bubble from Jeff Risdon's article. We're going to talk about that article, the players resulted in that article, and could it really be that way, and the Lions defense. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of strapping yourself to a tree, putting blood all over yourself, and it's where an infested wolves who are hungry that have not eaten in a week, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. And sometimes being a Lions fan, you could get eaten up. Also, make sure you take that like button with you and let that bad boy get eaten by them wolves. Let's get into today's Lions rumors. Articles talking today how the Detroit Lions defense must get better in tackling as well as 3-and-outs. Last year, the Lions defense was ranked 32 in tackling. That is atrocious. They must get better, and I agree with the article done here. If the Lions are trying to make a big step forward in the 2022 NFL season, the defense has got to improve. With that said, I actually do believe the defense has improved. Why? Just look all the additions in the NFL draft. We went primarily defense there. We got help on pass rush. We got help at stopping the run. And that's going to help out the linebackers, and getting healthy with the secondary will help out as tackling as well. I think personally the defense is going to go in at least 10 spots better in that area, and that's going to be so important for the Lions to go from a 3-win football team to a team that is actually relevant in the NFL, and we can have meaningful games when in the wintertime. And the defense got to be part of that, and of course Aaron Glenn, the OG of defense, is going to do that as well and make sure he gets that job done. Now, the article talked about how the Lions need to become a 3-and-out defense. 100% occur. If you can get a ton of 3-and-outs, obviously that's good defensively, but it gives you more time on offense to beat on the opposing defense. When the offense is primarily on the field, it wears defenses down, and it's really important for the fourth quarter when teams are tired, and then you can just run all over them. So if the defense from the Lions gets better on 3-and-outs, the Lions offense can continue to be on the field more. We can win more games in the fourth quarter, and that's how we win. That's why we've lost in the years past. That's how we can win this year. Rank the Lions defense, folks, for the 2022 NFL season. Do you think the Lions defense are going to be the best in the NFL? Do you think they're going to be the worst in the NFL? Mid, let me know your rank for the Detroit Lions defense. Really important to hear what you guys think upon that. Let's go ahead and talk about 5 players that the Detroit Lions could be having on a roster bubble. Now, this article was made by Jeff Risdon, very good individual who covers the Detroit Lions. One of my favorites, one of my go-to guys. You need to pay attention to this article. The article is from LionsWire, called 5 Returning Lions Who Are Fighting for Their Jobs. We're going to go through the players here, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on each player. The first player that Jeff has on his list is Logan Stenberg. And I could not agree more with this. Logan Stenberg has been on this roster for a couple years now. Hasn't really showed out. Has been known as the guy to be a backup for the guard. Hasn't really done anything spectacular for the Detroit Lions coming out of college. He was supposed to be the guy that's ruthless and mean. We all thought, man, this could be a sleeper pick for the Lions. End up being a sleeper in the wrong way, but not doing anything and making people fall asleep due to his lack of play. And the Detroit Lions, Tommy Kramer, we picked up some undrafted guys for the guard spot. The Lions' offensive line's already good as it is. It can really hurt the Detroit Lions if they don't get better in the backup role. And Logan Stenberg hasn't done anything really to continue to be on this roster, my opinion. So I 100% agree with this. Next player on his list is Julian Okwara. Now, I actually talked about Julian Okwara on my channel a couple times. as a potential player who could be on the roster bubble. And Jeff agrees as well. If you look at the influx they did at this defensive line this offseason regarding the NFL draft, a lot of players came in. Pascal, Aiden Hutchinson, you got Charles Harris coming back, you got Romeo Okwara. A lot of good players who potentially one of these guys could take his spot. He's been injured, talking about Okwara, hasn't really done the best. I still think Julian Okwara, honestly, still has a shot to be on this roster. He's more on the inside right now, but if players that we picked up is improving and getting better, and considering the fact that they're wanting to do more of a four-man that we've heard for the Lions from Dan Campbell, it could potentially put him on the roster bubble. And so I can't be upset with this selection that he did there from Jeff Risdon. Let me know in the comment section right now. Do you believe the media is starting to buy into the Detroit Lions? Why for yes and for no? Let me know what you guys think on this matter, because we're about to talk about that in a minute. Let's continue on with players from Jeff Risdon. Potentially could be on the roster bubble. Tight end Brock Wright. Again, I talked about him regarding the Lions. Brock Wright coming in. We drafted a tight end. We picked up some undrafted rookies, potentially to fight for this roster spot for the Lions, and it does put his spot in jeopardy. Still, I do believe he's the inside right now, but again, training camp, OTAs, preseason, it could push him out of the roster spot because these guys could show out and could hurt his chance to make this team. Let's continue on here with players in Godwin Iqewbuike on his list. And I 100% agree. I think he doesn't make the roster in all honesty. With getting Bell and his fumbling issues, we already got a pretty stacked roster from the running back perspective. The Detroit Lions have a good depth. It's going to be hard for Godwin Iqewbuike to make this roster. I absolutely agree. He's a player that could potentially not return. And finally, he's got Quintez Cephus, the wide receiver here. I talked about Quintez Cephus with the rest of the players on the wide receiver core. We're talking about Jamison Williams, talking about Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Shark, Khalif Raymond. The one guy was Quintez Cephus. Now, I love Quintez Cephus. He's actually doing really good last year before he got injured. I still think he's going to make this roster as of right now, but if there's a setback or if there's another issue that could hurt his chance, or like a Pimbleton who comes in and does really good in training camp, off-season completely, and does well in the preseason, it could push him out for the roster. Let me know what you guys think on Jeff Risdon's list. You guys need to go to chatsports.com/LionsBet. Bet on NBA games, MLB. We got the NFL coming up here soon, very shortly, so you can bet on that. You put in the promo code LIONS125, you get a 125% deposit bonus. All you got to do is bet $5, but you don't have to bet a lot of money, $5 here and there, and you are good to go for the Detroit Lions and betting to make a little bit of money. The Detroit Lions, are they looking pretty good right now? Regarding the media, we've heard it all offseason. The media loving the Lions. Well, continues on with Brian Baldinger from NFL Network. Says the Lions are going to be fun to watch in 2022. Quietly, they haven't been adding great talent, and if they can put it all together, big if, they're going to be playing important games in December, the first time in a long time. Year of the Lion, hashtag Baldy's breakdowns. Well, look, I do think the Detroit Lions are heading in the right direction. I think they could be playing meaningful games in December, something that we haven't seen since Jim Caldwell. It's been a while. Our team has been bad, thanks to you to Pat Matricia. Thank you so much, but could the Lions make the playoffs in 2022? Potentially they could make the playoffs. I have them an 8-win team, 7 to 8 win team, and guess what? That's right in the cusp of the playoffs. All it takes is to flip another game. that you think that potentially, or that I think they potentially could lose, into the win column, and you're right there in a wild card spot. I don't want to crown them yet. I don't want to drink too much of the Kool-Aid, because not considering the fact of the Detroit Lions roster, I think they've done a phenomenal job, not from Dan Campbell perspective, but we are the Detroit Lions. And what do you mean when I say this? How many times has the NFL kind of screwed us with referees? Knee being down for Thanksgiving. Flag picked up in Dallas. The catch, no catch in Chicago. Golden Tate supposed to get a touchdown. How many times have that happened? Now we got 1 o'clock games, and that stuff can continue to happen. All it takes, again, is one game to get flipped. We've seen many times for one game getting flipped. NFL screws us, don't make the playoffs. It's possible. It's something we've seen many times, hands to the face. So when I say it's the Lions, that's what I mean. Not necessarily us shooting ourselves in the foot. We've done that with penalties and making boneheaded mistakes. But there's also that factor of the NFL screwing us, because that's what they do. And you're not in prime time for that to be noticed. We're all a bunch of 1 o'clock and 12:30 games. So I'm still being very cautious about it. For me, especially being a content creator talking to you, I think 7-8 wins seems reasonable. But they definitely could be playing meaningful games. And guess what? If you're an 8-win team, or you're getting close to that area and it's December, that's pretty much meaningful games. Every game's starting to mean something when you talk about getting a wild card spot. So no doubt about it, very possible. In the upcoming videos, got videos dropping every single day, so make sure you hit that notification bell. Subscribe. Right now, I'm 9 subscribers away from 22,300. Hit that subscribe button, get it done. Follow me on Lions Nation Unite app and all social media sites. With that said, folks, adios.